those feelings of low self-worth, I work with a lot of folks who have worthiness issues, and that includes myself. So some of you might be hearing this and thinking, "Ugh, my childhood's over. There's no reason to go back there. Or if my childhood is where I learned most of my coping mechanisms, I'm screwed." And we tend to be very protective, defensive around our childhood experience. But the truth is, we have a unique opportunity to heal and consciously choose different behaviors as adults, regardless of what we've experienced in the past. And that process is called reparenting. And my childhood was unique in that, well, maybe not so unique. I don't even think it was unique. I think this happened to a lot of people. Um, I don't remember much of my dad other than him leaving when I was 4. So that's where everything changed for me. Because I will ask people, at what age do you last remember something very significant or a big, you know, incident or a happening or a trauma? Can always remember. And then there's a few that don't. I understand that. It's a blocking, it's a shutdown, you just forget because you don't want to go there. And my mom had so many jobs, and then my mom met the neighbor a couple doors down. My mom was always looking for love that she didn't have for herself in other people. That's what I know. And my dad would let people control his life. So that's where that narcissist, sociopath, psychopath comes from. And I understand that. Actually, it's an inner standing. I didn't for many years understand why he didn't want to see me. I was very angry. But when I finally got to meet his then wife, I pushed and pushed and pushed. And then I realized, oh my God, she is a total sociopath, narcissistic, sociopath and abusive. And my dad put up with it. And now I know why. My guides, my angels, my loved ones, my ancestors trying to protect me from this. And I got to see full frontal, eyes wide open. Whoa. Okay. That's not what I wanted, but I needed to see it. And my mom was battling, her own issues, her own addictions. She was working all these jobs. And, my mom was distracted. I get it. And I had zero discipline. Um, we would just do whatever. And I remember my mom crying a lot, and there was a lot of chaos and there was codependence there. So that's where the anxiety began. And not only that, but I started seeing things and hearing things, and I was highly intuitive, picking up all the energies, and I wanted to spend time with animals. And thank God, my mom, we had tons of animals. We had birds, we had hamsters, we had dogs, we had cats. Um, it was the place to go to because my mom didn't really have any rules, right? So, and it kind of manifested as a bit of a body dysmorphia, meaning even though I was almost 6 feet tall, 120 pounds, and was running 10 kilometers a day, a couple miles, I still, when I looked in the mirror, thought I was fat. Yeah, and then the drinking, and then the smoking, and then, there was a lot of promiscuous behavior because I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I was repeating a pattern of my mom's, but I thought that was normal, right? So I didn't show up for myself and I was out of control. I didn't understand how to set or keep boundaries. Had no focus on my physical or spiritual health. I was making 6 figures, um, but I was miserable. I was so negative and I was such a victim. And discovering reparenting was a game changer for me. Anybody else? Anybody else in that discovery of inner child, reparenting, anything like that? And it was not my parents' fault. It meant nothing about who they were as people or how much they loved me. They were doing the best they could with their level of awareness. Now it's time for us to do the best we can with our own evolved level of awareness, and we are evolving. Yes, we are. And it's our personal responsibility. I posted the other day in my Facebook and Instagram page, group page, whatever. It's the visual is there's a little girl in the mirror crying, and there's a grown woman with her hand on the mirror. And it says, the pain is not your responsibility, but the healing is. So that's deep. And anyone can begin the process of reparenting themselves. It takes time, it takes commitment and patience. There's no quick fix. You have to show up every day, but it will allow you to heal and forgive. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Being a chain breaker to the ancestral trauma, the wounds. And there's 4 pillars of reparenting. Discipline. Oh, gosh, this is something that, I call it a spiritual toolkit. I build up a self-care kit and I practice it every day. Now let's say I don't hit every single point, because then that becomes my ego controlling mechanism. No, 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 we're not going there. Let's say I'm only operating at 50%. What can I do to heal, like to love myself today, even though I'm not at 100%? We have to remember that. Discipline is not, control and authoritarian and you must do this or else. No, no, no. No, that's coming from a lack and a fear mentality. It's really looking at yourself and going, what do I really need? Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, in relationships. And we are choosing spirituality first in everything we do. And then there's the joy. I ask clients when I work with them, what are your dreams as a child? And I wish I had a cricket sound, because I get crickets and I get the blank stare. I get it. I get it. I've been there. I'm like, dreams? What do you mean? They were crushed. I don't have any. I don't remember. Well, in part of the work that we do together and in our community, it's called soul healing for a reason. It's a call from your soul because you've diminished yourself for so long. You've ignored yourself for so long. You became codependent. You became a people pleaser. You became a perfectionist. Where's the joy in the little things? Like when I see a bumblebee, I'm like, oh, what a cute, I call him a bumbler, a bumbler, or a little fuzzy butt. You know, see how even my voice changes when I talk about it because it's so cute. That's what we need to go towards. Because when we're a child, we never questioned anything. Everything was magical. Everything was beautiful. Everything was fun. Everything was joy. And then the next piece, the number 3, is emotional regulation. Emotional regulation, regulating our emotions. And that's why I take people through chakras and energy work and Reiki. They're all connected. They're all connected. And bringing in God. Bringing in God. Bringing in the creator. Bringing in source. The universe. Pick something, please. Don't get attached to, well, I had a really bad experience with some Christian person. Okay, when are you going to forgive them and forgive yourself for being attached to that and letting that define who you are and letting that block you from being open to everything, ding ding, and attached to nothing. Ding dong. Hello. Hello. Anybody there? All right. And the last one is self-care. Oh my God. And self-care it could be writing, it could be singing, it could be cooking, it could be gardening, it could be having a luxurious Epsom salt bath, which is one of my favorite things, and massages. Oh my God. And reflexology. Yes. Those are all beautiful things. Flotations. cold water plunging, having a shower, and having a visualization of all the rainbow, the white light, the gold energy just raining over you. That is one way to clear your aura, to raise your vibration, to clear your energy, to align yourself with who you truly are. And self care, as one of our community members would say, is the act of doing nothing. What? I don't have to do anything? No. If you just want to lay there and complete silence, there you go. So, those are the 4 pillars: discipline, joy, emotional regulation, self care. Let me know what you are doing about that or if you need some help. And depending on your unique childhood experience, some of these will be more difficult than others.